So whenever she hears that, you like if Colette is still holding her, she'll be tense. She won't move. And she'll like just stay there and kind of look around because she does not know this.
Yeah, she doesn't know what's happening necessarily.
She doesn't know what it is. Like, she knows that she can do something similar, like getting inside somebody's mind, but she couldn't or hasn't experienced anything like communication, like telepathy or whatever, or feeling this feeling. So, like, she's a really, like, confused. She's thinking that he's like right there, but in her mind she knows that he's not right there, but then it doesn't make sense to her.
Yeah, because you do know where he is. That's one thing that happens when you're summoned, is you are aware of their location. Yeah,
and where they are. Yeah.
And he did get a crit win, so that means that while it's voluntary it's a voluntary action to go to him. Like, you're not like forced. It's not like you don't have will. It's a voluntary action to go to him. But because he did get a crit win, that you have this sense of urgency. Like, I need to get to him, like, as quick as possible.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like the feeling that you're kind of having amidst the confusion of trying to understand. And when you sort of like tense up and and respond, Colette will notice, and she'll look over and be like, "Are you good?"
No. I know where Isaiah is, and I need to go now.
What?
Excuse me?
Say what?
I heard something in my head. I heard him calling me, and I know exactly where he is, and I need to go. I need to go now.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
I don't think. He said go alone.
Yeah, that's
Well,
not happening.
You're damn sure not going alone.
Nice joke.
I don't know if that's good. I think it might be a problem if you guys came.
Well, you can't seriously be thinking of going by yourself. After everything we've seen, after everything that's happened, there's no way you're going to face these guys alone. We'll just have to figure it out once we get there. But none of us is going to let you go there alone. So let's go.
She's gonna pick her phone, and their like thread message or whatever. Share her location indefinitely and flee.
Had a feeling she was gonna just disappear. The only one that has any chance of keeping up with that shit is Alejandro, if he wants to.
I'm gonna do a Rouse check.
Go for it.
7.
And just like that, in a matter of moments, Nyx is gone from your sight. Colette's gonna shake her head and be like, "No, and she's just gonna start walking straight to the car."
Let's get equipment.
Sparta's gonna activate everything first off.
He's not even near any threat. Just like, oh, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
Okay, so I failed one of the rouse checks, so I'm hungry.
Okay. Careful.
I put 2 into strength, and resilience and toughness are activated. And I'm going to look at Alejandro and say, we need to follow her now.
You
And
guys have a pin in the thing that you can follow as like GPS.
and he'll start walking back to the SUV.
All right. Alejandro's gonna fall in the SUV with the rest. Because we still have the location. Also gives us time to get the message across to the people that needs to be. Now we have a location. Colette, can you message Penelope?
We're going to my house. Get in the car.
All right, let's go.
Colette rips out of the driveway. Drives back to her house as fast as she can. There's a little distance away from.
Alejandro changes in the car. Like he doesn't care at this point.
He's ripping his clothes off. Colette is gonna. You guys will arrive at her house. She's gonna get out of the car and just swiftly walk inside. She goes into her room and takes her just a few minutes. She comes back out. She's completely changed. She is going to walk over to the bookcase where in like the common area, and on it there is a little like figurine that's on there. She's gonna pull the figurine and the bookcase slides open, and inside there is a armory just full of shit. All kinds of guns and everything. Looks like Lindsay's armory. Colette's been holding out. We're like, yeah, ask Lindsay. I'm sure Lindsay has some of that. Meanwhile, she's
been hoarding all the fucking weapons. This bitch.
She's got a whole armory of her own, but she wasn't going to share with you necessarily. So she goes in there and starts grabbing a whole bunch of things. And she, like, while she's doing this, she's obviously like updating Penelope and Ashley, like, of what's going on. And they too, like, are getting ready. And they're like, okay, well, we're coming with you. And then after a few minutes of her sort of passing shit out and like getting it ready and things like that, you all funnel back into the car. She throws like a duffel bag of shit in the back. And within like a matter of like 5 minutes, that's how fast everything happens. You guys are back in the car and leaving. And Colette sort of has her phone up on the dash, like up on the, like, you know, one of those little holder thingies. And it's got Nyx's location, which has already stopped moving. Because that's how fast Nyx is. And you guys see that this, the ping for her location is just outside of the city. If I had done my research, I would have a name for you, but I don't have one right this second.
Outside of the city.
Yeah, outside of the city. It's in Jefferson. There we go. That sounds like a fun place to go. Jefferson.
Yeah, well, I'm in Jefferson.
She's in Jefferson. Just, you know, having a chat, hanging out with some old friends, catching up.
I guess catching up.
So you guys hop in the car and begin to follow the route to this place. Ow. Nyx.
Yes.
You very swiftly leave the side of your friends and the safety, rushing to the great unknown. Following the feeling of knowing where Isaiah is, it's strange that you know where he is, even though you've never been there, but you know exactly where to go. And you follow this urge to get to him, to see him, talk to him.
Before I actually get there, or wherever this is, where I feel like it's imminent for me to like see him in front of me, I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna start recording a voice memo.
Okay.
And then put it back in like my little pochette.
Okay. When you arrive, this area it reminds you a lot of the area that you kind of run through to get to where he is. Reminds you of like Ronaldo's, like the Tremere territory. It's kind of farmy, backwoodsy, but cute kind of. Mm-hmm. And eventually, when you stop to, like, you know that he is there, you're in a neighborhood. It's not like your typical like suburban neighborhood where like all of the houses are like super close together, but there are, you know, a handful of houses along this street. So it's not a completely secluded area that you're going to. But you stop before you kind of get to the house that you know that he's in. And the house that he's in, it's a 2-story house. And you see a couple of cars out in the driveway as you're kind of like taking in your surroundings, looking around. There are some lights on in a couple of the other houses around. It's not super late at this point. It'd probably be like 11 p.m.-ish. Still fairly early in the night. So you're aware that this is somewhat public. Mm-hmm. That he hasn't necessarily drawn you to a secluded area, possibly as a means to protect himself, because he knows that maybe things are less likely to go south in a public area, so it's better for him. Do you approach the house? There's no one outside. You don't see anyone outside. He is inside the house.
I pretty much like fleeted until like the front of the house, did that, put it back, like I imagine like a little tiny handbag, you know, like kind of like a satchel, whatever, like just a few things, like a lipstick, the phone, and that's it, are in there, and then like her cigarettes. And then, you know, like that's it. That's pretty much what she's carrying. So she's gonna put it back in and just approach the door and literally just knock on the door.
Knock on the door, okay. After 30, 40 seconds or so, the door opens and there's a woman that you don't recognize standing there. And she just looks at you with a, like, sign of recognition. Like, she knows who you are, obviously. People tend to do that when you come around. It's like, yeah, we know who you are. You don't know me, but I know you. And she, like, kind of, like, has this, like, evil smile on her face. She's like, oh, okay. Like, she's almost surprised that you're there. She's like, wow, this is happening. Okay, let's do this. And she, like, steps aside and just kind of, like, oh, the door is open to the house.
I walk in. What do I see?
When you walk in, it's small on the inside, smaller than any houses that you've been in. Everybody seems to have really nice big luxury houses. This is just kind of your quaint, normal middle American house. There's stairs immediately on your right, and then it sort of leads down a hallway that opens up into a living room. And you can hear like sound coming from the living room. But other than that, you don't see much of anything. You don't see any other people.
Okay, I literally just like look around for a second, taking my time, and then I look at her and I'm like, where is he?
She just like gestures down the hallway towards the living room where the sound is coming from. Sounds like a TV is on.
It's probably hilarious to see her in this fucking like huge gown that is probably torn up at this point. She lost her shoes like a while back. She just dumped
barefoot.
the shoes. She's barefoot. Yeah, barefoot, like walking down this hallway. She's nervous. Like she knows that she probably did something that she shouldn't have done, but here we are.
What can you do now?
So I go the direction I was pointed. So I suppose I get out into the living room.
Yeah, so you'll walk into the living room and it opens up into this small living room space. There is a couch and a chair. There's a TV. And Isaiah is sitting on the couch and he's watching a old black and white film. And when you enter the room, he keeps his eyes affixed on the TV. It says, "Wow, you came quickly."
Yeah, I couldn't do anything about it. I needed to be here. What did you do? What is that?
Have a seat. We'll talk about it.
She's gonna put the bag. Is there a coffee table in front of them?
Yeah, it's typical kind of setup of a living room.
Yeah, so like I'm just gonna sit. If there's like a regular thing, it's usually a bigger couch and like two smaller, like either armchair or like a chair or whatever like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she's not gonna sit with him. She's gonna sit down her shit and sit into like compose herself in her huge dress, like in the armchair, like next to him. But
Okay. When you sit down, where the sort of couch and chair are located, once you kind of like walk in and sit, you can see across from you, there's sort of like a cutout in the wall. And there's like a little bar with some stools that you can peer into like the kitchen / dining room area. From this room, you can see into there. And when you sit down, you can see an elderly couple that are both tied up and bloodied. And they're tied up into the dining room chairs in the adjacent room. You can't quite tell if they're alive or not.
oh, what do you want?
He's gonna click the TV off. Slowly look over at you. Well, to meet you, of course.
Why did you even do this to me in the first place? I have a lot of questions.
That's fine. I have a lot of time. Originally, you were a safety net. You see, Caleb, he believed that the night of your embrace would end quite differently, more beneficial for him. These were the promises that were presented to him. However, I had a feeling that night might go a little differently. And when I saw how differently it went, I knew that you would have far greater use than the pawn you were originally meant to be.
Okay, I have been dealing with people speaking in riddles for a while now. I would like some straightforward answers. What do you mean by that?
Which part? That you're a pawn. You're useless.
I'm useless?
Indeed.
So why do you want me here?
Because not everybody thinks you're useless. You, a very short time have apparently many people have grown fond of you. I plan to see just how important you are. Because while you might be a pawn, you have the potential to lead me to the king.
To the king?
Yes. I'm sure that your friends didn't approve of you coming here, correct?
What?
Your friends. They didn't necessarily approve of you coming to meet me.
I just left. I
Right.
fleeted over here.
Now, what do you think that they will do to find you? And who do you think they will bring?
I don't know.
Well, I guess we will find out, won't we? He's gonna click back on the TV, stare at the TV again.
Why do you want to talk to the king? What do you want? What is the point of this whole thing?
He's not gonna answer.
You literally called me over here for me to watch an old movie in silence. I need answers. He's not answering me.
Nope.
So, from what Nyx saw, there's Isaiah, and there's this other woman.
Yeah, the
in
chick
there.
who answered the door.
Mm-hmm. And I guess like the couple that is in the
Yeah.
title.
them.
Has the woman appeared in the room at all?
The one that answered the door? No. She didn't follow you into the living room.
Who is the woman that answered the door?
Are you asking him or me? Okay. I'm like, you don't know. I'm just gonna roll for it. He doesn't say anything.
I'm getting frustrated. I don't know what you want from me. Why the fuck? I wish I had Daunt in this case. I think she'll just like get up and literally block the TV with her huge dress. And look at him in the face. And I'm gonna activate awe. I know that it's probably not gonna do anything because he's fucking older than me and whatever, but I'll try it. And I'm gonna try to persuade him to fucking talk to me.
Okay.
So, charisma. Those aspects, right? Please, dice, I need to like go against a huge pool of fucking shit, please.
Okay.
Beautiful! Beautiful! We love to see it! I have 2 10s and 4 successes.
Hallelujah.
So it's 6. 6 successes. Are you serious?
I can't make this shit up. He got 6. So the way that whenever it ties, the defender is the one who wins. So in this case, he would win because he's defending himself. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about these large pools. You know how it is. You just needed one less. You would have been... So what do you say to him? What are you saying in this moment?
Isaiah, please. I might just like might as well fucking die tonight. Can you please tell me something?
He's gonna kind of like roll his eyes like, it's like, what is it that you want to know exactly?
Are you serious? What are you doing? Is this you? Is this your plan? Who planned this? Why do you want to talk to the king? Why is this so important for you to like do all of this? Who hurt you?
Originally, yes, this, I guess you could say, was my plan. But then things got a little messy, as they do. And you're my attempt to right the path. that I originally set upon. I can't answer all of the questions you have. This has been years in the making. Quite frankly, I don't have the time to sit here and discuss it with you. But soon enough, more things may come into light and be more clear for you. I only have part of the story. Guess we will just have to see who arrives.
I don't think I am as important as you think I am. I'm the new girl that was abandoned, that was pretty much killed the first night.
Yet here you stand.
I'm resilient. That's definitely one of my good traits, I would say. I'm resilient and eager.
Yes, I do like that about you.
I like that about myself as well. Got me through a lot. So that's why I'm standing here.
I think you've proven yourself quite useful.
I guess I'm not allowed to go anywhere, am I?
Be my guest.
He'll just literally cackle and like turn around and go explore the house. Like literally. She can't stand him. She can't. Like she's like in her like, you know, when you're like kind of mumbling to yourself, she'll be like, "Oh my fucking god. My sire is like Alejandro and I fucking can't." Right now. Like she's mumbling this as she's going back to the hallway. Like, what is in the hallway?
When you get just beyond the entrance of the hallway, that woman who opens the door is standing there, blocking you from walking any further. She's got that same, like, evil smirk smile on her face as she just stares at you.
She's like the fucking door guard or some shit. Is that what it is? The guardian of the door? I don't think we introduced ourselves. You seem to know, obviously, who I am. But who are you?
She just stares at you. It's like she's staring right through you.
I see the crypticness is contagious in this place. Love to see it. And can I go upstairs? Is there an upstairs? It's a 2-story house, right?
Mm-hmm. She's blocking your way.
Upstairs?
Yeah, like she's blocking the hallway that leads to the door into the upstairs. She's like kind of in the middle of that kind of hallway.
Hallway?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't even go explore. I am asking her. I'm bored. I'm here. I'm waiting for something because, you know, like straightforward answers are not something that happens around here, I guess. Counted a lot of you. Too many, in my opinion. I like direct people. You can come with me. I don't give a fuck. I'm just bored.
She laughs. She steps aside.
She's gonna like enter every room.
Before you can make it to the stairs, 3 people begin to come down the stairs.
Okay.
The first one is a female, and there's 2 males. The first one says, "So you're bored, are you?"
Hi. Yeah, I am.
She's gonna walk over to you and link her arm into yours and say, "Well, come with me."
Did I ever see this person?
You have never seen anybody in this entire house.
Apart from Isaiah.
Well, yeah, of course.
Memories and shit.
Of course.
Who are you?
My name's Sophia.
Okay. I'm Nyx.
So it's entertainment you seek, right?
I mean, something to do. I honestly would rather do anything else than spend my time
Awesome.
in silence in this situation.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. She's like walking you back further into the living room, and you guys turn into the kitchen. When you walk into the kitchen, there are 2 other individuals that you couldn't see when you were sitting in the living room. And they're also tied up to the chairs, but they're not bloodied and stuff like the older couple. And as soon as you guys walk into the kitchen, they're like freaking out. It's a man and a woman. And they just start shrieking, like they're gagged, like their mouths are sort of like something's tied around their mouth so that they can't scream loudly. By the way, this might be trigger warning for anybody in the chat, but shit's about to go down. So you see these 2 people tied up, and they're immediately terrified as soon as like you guys all walk back into the kitchen. And Sophia like drops your arm, and she's like, "Well, entertainment you shall have." And she walks over to the man and puts her hands on his knees and looks at him and says, "Be quiet." And immediately he's like, and just completely relaxes as he looks at her. And I'm not going to go into details because I don't want to. But she basically, her and a couple of the other, the 2 males that joined her when she was walking down the stairs, began to torture these 2 humans in front of you. And they're laughing and carrying on, and every time anytime that they sort of shift their focus away from the 2, like that fear kind of re-enters into these people, and they're like toying with them, going back and forth of like letting them feel the fear and then like telling them to be quiet, like everything's okay, like you're enjoying this kind of thing. And this is sort of what is transpiring in the kitchen.
No, that's not going to be okay for Nyx.
Well, that's fine, but that's what's happening. So you can do whatever you want to do in response to it, but that's what's going on in the kitchen.
Nyx is going to immediately, as soon as like she sees that somebody is like going to just be torturing them for no apparent reason, she's like, "This is not fucking entertainment. Are you guys fucking crazy? Stop it."
They don't pay any attention to you. They're caught up with each other and everything that's going on. Laughing, carrying on.
She's gonna try to, like, get in there.
I don't know what that means. What do you mean?
What is happening? Who is doing what? What are they doing?
They're torturing them. The two males and the Sophia female that came downstairs with you, that they're all three, like, torturing these two individuals.
With what? Blades?
Sure. I mean,
What?
I told you I'm not going to go into detail because it's a line for me, so I'm not going to go into a detail about what they're doing. They're torturing them. Yes, they have weapons. They're using their own bodies. They're vampires. They don't necessarily need weapons to torture someone.
I'm gonna try to, like, body block them. I'm literally going to get in there and try to body block something from happening. I know that it's 3 of them, and I know, like,
Okay,
she
well,
understands, but
initiate. If you're going to go into combat with them, initiate combat.
I'm not gonna get combat. I just want to put my body in front of them. So I guess what it is, like, I'm gonna boost up strength. Roasted 6. Yeah, she's too nice. Nyx is too nice. I don't even have anything in intimidation at all.
Wait, really? Oh, shit, you don't.
She
Well, you
never
have
worked with intimidation.
persuasion. You could just go about it a different way. Because she's pretty persuasive.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to intimidate. I mean, that's the approach that I would feel like she would try to take.
Okay. She is going to recompose herself,
Okay.
and she's gonna be like, well, it's too bad that is not the type of flavor of entertainment I would like. But I could entertain you if you want. She's actively trying to seduce them or, like, be alluring to them at this point.
Okay. Are you going to target one in particular? Because it would be hard to persuade 3 vampires at the same time.
I guess I'm gonna talk to Sophia because she seems like the one that is kind of leading the group
Like the ringleader.
into this. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. So you can either do manipulation and persuasion or charisma and persuasion, whichever way you want to.
Charisma and persuasion, and I have an extra die for seduction.
Yep. And I'll roll for Sophia.
Reroll these 2, they fell. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. You got 6 successes? Okay, she only got 3. She had a tiny pool. So you sort of catch her attention as you're, like, realizing that your initial approach of, like, trying to make them feel bad about what they're doing is not gonna work, because they clearly don't hold the same convictions that you do, and have no regard for human life. So you go about it a different way and try to kind of catch her attention and be like, okay, well, you know, there's other things we could kind of do, wink wink. And try to get her to kind of pay more attention to you, and it works. She's like, she kind of, like, stops and raises an eyebrow at you. She's like, oh, well, that was unexpected, but I like it. And she like immediately will leave the man that she was originally kind of focused on, and she's gonna start walking over to you.
Oh, she'll be like, don't your friends want to join as well?
Oh, them? Probably not.
Are they still torturing them?
They've kind of stopped. Like, they're not at this particular moment. They've shifted their focus to you and Sophia. They're like,
Okay. Well, do you want to play a game?
I love games. Particularly ones that I win at.
And what kind of games are you good at?
All sorts.
You like
Freeze tag.
art?
I'm just kidding. Freeze tag is with fleetness. Tag, you're it. Sorry, my mind went a whole different place.
Well, I see that you like specific type of entertainment. Would you like maybe to do something?
What are you suggesting?
I don't know. We could go upstairs and see what you have in your wardrobe or something. If you brought some fun toys to play with.
I mean, sure.
Either way.
She's gonna start walking upstairs, like heading back up to the stairs. And right when she gets a couple of steps up, you're gonna hear Isaiah say from the living room, Now, Sophia, that's enough." She's gonna be like, she like lets out a very unnecessary sigh because there's no air in her lungs. But there is a sigh, and a heavy one. And she pauses for a second, and she goes, under her breath, she says, "God, I swear I can never have any fun around here." And then she just walks upstairs.
I guess I'm gonna go.
And the other men, when Isaiah sort of said that, the other men they're going and they're like, look at you like damn. They like give you this look when they walk by you and they go upstairs.
Well, yeah, damn. Yes, that's right. That's what she's like. That's what Nyx is thinking, and like that's the look back that she gives to them.
It's like, yeah, that's fucking right, bitch. Respect
yeah, exactly,
me.
Bitch. You think that I'm just a pawn? Think better. You got attention.
Cock block.
Okay, well, after all of that, I guess like she had plenty of entertainment. She's gonna go.
She's like, I'm gonna be quiet now.
I'm gonna be just fucking quiet.
Okay. So the 3 individuals that came down the stairs are going to go back upstairs and kind of disappear. The chick that was in the hallway is just like entertained. She's like, okay, this is fun. And everyone's sort of like buzzing. They're like, ooh. Sophia seemed to do exactly what she was trying to do and created a buzz in this house of like, oh, well, you're bored, are you? I'll create some fucking entertainment / drama for you. Yeah, wasn't necessarily what you wanted, cool. but it worked. Yeah. Hallway girl smiles.
Totally did.
All right. Meanwhile, in the car, you guys are rushing toward this dot on the screen. While you guys are driving, Penelope is making a couple of phone calls, and she is relaying information that they have the known address of Isaiah and to notify Lindsay immediately. You don't know who she's talking to, but she does make a few phone calls in the time that you guys are driving. Like I said, it does take a while. It takes like 30 or so minutes, roughly, to get to this location. So you guys are driving along. Who's in the front seat with Colette? Doesn't matter at this point. Whoever's
be in the front seat.
Okay. Colette's gonna kind of look over to you and be like, she'll just ask you, like, are you prepared for this? I know a lot has happened. We just lost Lev. I need to make sure that your head's in the right place.
I'm ready. But I'm going in. We're going to get her out, and we're going to get this Isaiah guy. I don't know what we're going to find. I don't know what we're going to do. But at this point, we don't have a choice. This is going to come to a fight.
Yeah, I
But don't get me wrong. A part of me does say smash our way in and just kill everybody. But I know that's not the right way to go about it.
No. Although the element of surprise would be nice, I have a feeling that they might already think we're coming.
We should try to work out some kind of plan of what to do.
Alejandro? Thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, they've been prepared every single step of the way, so it wouldn't surprise me, and I agree with you on that one, Colette. The fact that we at least we're coming with a little bit of force this time. I don't know how many people are gonna be where she's at. For all that I know, we don't know what to expect. Crashing in, would be an option and elements of surprise, but what's expecting inside or wherever the hell they are. I'm just
I mean, we could try the plan that we had at that other house where we split up going from the front and the back.
And the top.
You mean the Kool-Aid man moment?
I mean, it wasn't the best idea, but it worked.
I mean, worked.
Yeah.
That
We'll
didn't work.
use that term loosely.
Worked, quote unquote.
I mean, you achieved the goal of smashing through the wall.
I'm just saying it's an option.
Yeah. It's an option. Um,
What about combining the two things?
How so?
Well, we don't know if it's an open area or not. If it's outside, you can just jump in. If it's in a house, knock, see the situation, and then you still are not surprised.
I don't know if knocking would be a good option though. Like we know that these guys are powerful. And the last time we just knocked and went in, they did that mind voodoo shit. Honestly, I think surprise might be the best option. Either way, we have to get inside the house.
I think.
I'm trying to figure how many more are coming though.
You mean
Like how much
from our
more
side?
backup do we have? Yeah.
I mean, as soon as Lindsay catches wind of this, there's no telling. This is there's a blood hunt for this man. Literally,
Yep.
well, and then she's gonna like look at the map and realize that it's outside of the city limits and be like, "Fuck." Blood hunt doesn't apply. Regardless, everyone has been looking for him. He's literally the reason that this has been happening.
So yeah, I honestly say take a double approach. I mean, I can knock on the door and see what's going on. At least I'm fast enough to get away if they decide to pull out something.
Yeah, I think going with a combination of both. I don't know. Maybe let's see, how many of there are you guys? There's 5 of you? Yes. There's 5 of us. Maybe we split up. A couple of us approach. And then we have kind of a second wave if something happens to the first group. That can, I don't know, come in afterwards instead of exposing us all at once.
I mean, it's an option, but do you think we should have somebody at least go around the back?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
I mean, that does sound like a pretty good plan. I say we go with that.
Yeah.
And worst case scenario, then we just smash our way in and kill everybody.
Everybody?
Colette looks like
Oh wait, what?
she's gonna look over at you and say, "How many kindred have you killed?"
None, but I mean, I've
Okay.
killed tons of wolves.
We're not dealing with wolves. I just don't get too ambitious, okay? These things aren't necessarily that
It's
easy.
nice.
That's why I asked where your head was at. This, like you said, this is gonna be a fight, and this is gonna be a nasty one.
Like I said, I'm ready.
Wonder if Lindsay actually brings her little crossbow.
Oh, by the way, I do still have these, and he'll take out from his suit jacket because he's still wearing the suit. He'll take out the smoke grenades. He still has 2 left. We could always use this as a distraction as well.
Smoke grenade or stun grenades? Which one?
Mine were the smoke grenades.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, okay.
And then Alejandro, I
Alejandro
think, got
just had this
the
stuff.
stunned.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I mean, Colette's like trying not to judge you because you're adorable. And she's like, I know you're trying, but like, it's becoming abundantly clear that you have never been in an actual like combat situation with vampires. Like, it's becoming very clear to Colette that that is the case. But she's trying not to, she doesn't want to discourage you. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't need you to be discouraged going into this. So she's keeping all of her comments in her mind. Like, fuck. Like,
She's like, bless your heart.
fuck. Of course, this is the guy I have with me. But.
Because he's literally only ever fought werewolves.
Oh, goodness.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, let's just try not to die.
So how are we gonna pair up though?
I think that we should.
Because
Go ahead.
because right now we have at least myself and Ashley, I believe, can get out quick enough.
I think I should be there when you knock on the door. I could always leap away.
I think we should have. We should pair strength and speed. So.
Me and Alejandro, you and Ashley.
I think that Ashley and Penelope should be our element of surprise because they might not necessarily be expecting them to be there. Whereas they might be expecting us as her coterie to show up. If that makes sense.
I like it. So it'll be us three at the door, and we'll keep Ashley and Penelope in reserve.
Yes.
Before anything, Colette, if I have to pull us out, I'll pull us out. I know you're not the biggest fan of it. I saw you give Sparta a nice little elbow.
Yeah. I don't
But-
typically back down from a fight.
But you and me both know that we have to go smart about this. And we know what we're dealing with. We don't even know if they got weapons.
He's not wrong.
She's going to make eye contact with you in the rearview mirror. And she's going to say, all I ask is that you prioritize. She's just going to hold
That's all
your
I
gaze
know.
for a second and kind of silently communicate that you better not save me before you save others. And then she's
I
just
gotcha.
going to look back at the road.
Well, it sounds like we're ready. Let's see what happens.
All right. Let's do it. So, you guys are kind of, as you're driving along, having this whole conversation, she's speeding through the streets, getting closer and closer and closer. You guys pull up, and as she gets closer, as Colette typically does when she's driving into these locations, she sort of slows down and cuts the lights and is kind of like cruising, trying to like take in the space, what's going on. You guys are on the street that this house is on. It's a dead end street. So it's sort of kind of like a cul-de-sac, kind of dead ends. Yeah. And as you guys are inching closer and closer and closer, Colette's going to kind of lean forward and narrow her eyes and squint. And she's like, you guys see that, right? And at the end of the cul-de-sac, there, in this particular neighborhood, not all of the houses are built. There's a couple, it seems like a new sort of subdivision that is being built. And the house, like all the way on the end, has got like the bones of a house. But there's no walls and things. There's just like the wood that, you know, they haven't actually put the walls up and stuff. And as you guys all sort of focus in on that spot, you see two individuals, two shadows, standing inside of this bare bone house. Colette is gonna stop the car. Do you have Eyes of the Beast, or would you have activated at this point?
I would have activated it.
Yeah, because it is fairly dark on this road. You would be the only one that would really be able to see what's down there.
And if I noticed that they were up there, I would immediately focus on them and try to.
Yeah, everyone else can like see shadow figures, like the outline of people. But you can't necessarily see anything else. And with Eyes of the Beast and the crispness that happens when you activate that, and you can kind of see much more clearly, you can make out the detail of two familiar faces standing in this bare bone house is Violet and Vincent.
I'll look over at Colette and I'll say, "That's the guy from in the dungeon, the one that summoned that demon thing."
Oh, you motherfucker.
Colette just starts shaking her head. She's just like, and she's just gonna look around at the houses and just like, and she like doesn't know what to say. She's scared. She's actually scared. She's like, I was scared of that man that night. I don't want to fight him. No.
This changes everything.
And you guys, from where you guys are, you're parked. I would say she probably, because once she kind of saw them, she stopped moving. She didn't want to like move anymore. So you guys are kind of in the middle of the road, just idling. And you're roughly like, I'd say like 2 houses away from the house that Nyx is in. And then the other house where Vincent and Violet are is probably like another 2 houses like going around the circle directly like in front of you guys. But I mean, you're a ways away. But that's sort of like where you guys are kind of just stopped. And Ashley from the back is going to say, well, I think they know that we're here, guys.
So we're going to have to change the plan. I still say we knock. But at this point, there's no point keeping Penelope and Ashley separated since they already know that they're here. So I say we stay as a group. Continue with the plan and see what happens. Either way, we have to get in there. We're not leaving Nyx behind.
Colette's gonna like close her eyes and just like, oh, fuck me.
Mexico, Mexico, Mexico.
We could just turn around right now, you know, like
Go to Mexico, start over.
Nyx
I'll
is
deal with this
cool,
bullshit.
but I don't necessarily want to die
It's
because
cool,
of her.
but like not necessarily cool.
She's not that cool. I mean, she's kind of hot, but it's fine.
Has-
Like, these
Wait,
are. Colette would not say that in the car with her girlfriend. Are you kidding me? She would never hear the end of it. Okay, so Colette is going to very slowly creep to the side of the road. Not go closer very much, just enough to kind of like get out of the middle of the road because she was in the middle of driving down the road. And she's going to turn the car off. She's like, okay, let's just fucking go. What else is there?
I really don't want my memory wiped for a second time.
So while you guys were like sitting there trying to figure out, what to do, or like what you wanted to do and assessing the situation and all that good stuff, Violet and Vincent step out of the house and slowly begin to kind of walk along what would be a yard that's just dirt at this point. Very much indicating that they know that you guys are there. And they're walking directly towards you. And Colette is growing even more antsy, and she's like, guys, there, okay. If we're gonna do this, we just have to do this. We have to work together.
All right.
Everybody have their weapons on hand. Sparta does have Nyx's knives. When we went back to Colette's to arm up, he would have grabbed those.
Okay.
Let's
So,
go.
And Sparta opens up the door and gets out of the SUV.
all right, Colette's gonna follow suit, and Colette's got a pistol in each hand. And everyone sort of funnels out of the car, and they're slowly walking closer and closer to you. And that's when another thing appears in sight.
Oh no. Oh no.
And behind Vincent and Violet, you see a large, dark, shadowy, nasty figure. And as it makes its way clunky behind these two, you see once again the wrath that you saw the night in the cells. And that is where we're going to take a break.
You did it again.